I've been all in my bag. You been all in my business. You be all in your feelings. I've been all in them trenches. I've been all in my bag.
Yes, guys, I'm Sai. Welcome to Ace Podcast Nation, the home of Keeping It Real, which is our wrestling series. And a little quick one tonight as we're going to round up the news of the last couple of weeks. There's been a lot, and I'm delighted as ever to be joined by the one and only, recently featured on the latest episode of Botchamania, Mr. Andrew Thompson, the GOAT. How are you, my friend?
What's going on, Sai, the science guy? How's life treating you?
Good, mate. Good. It's real hot here at the moment. So it's a bit of a struggle for us Welsh and us Brits because we're not used to it. So when it gets real hot, we like get real angry and hot and sweaty, and it's not good. But apart from that, it's all good. It's all good, mate. I'd rather it be sunny than the usual rain that we get. So good.
Hopefully it's not hot shit in that stadium in September.
Yeah, mate. Well, tell you what, my friend. Since we've last talked, some stuff has happened. Oh boy, it's like where to bloody start. I want to talk very quickly about like the Vince McMahon stuff. Not so much like getting into all the ins and outs of it because it's a touchy subject, and rightly so, and we'll have to see how it kind of plays out and stuff. But were you surprised to see him turn up on TV Friday, and kind of it was so pointless what he did? It just felt like a bit of an ego trip to say, yeah, I don't care, sort of thing, to me anyway. But what did you think of it?
Yeah, it was definitely an ego trip. I think that was Vince's way of showing that he's not hiding from the situation or running from the situation, but like he doesn't realize he just looks like a dumbass doing that. Like, dude, you're like literally the center of an entire investigation right now, and your first thing of a misconduct investigation, and your first thought is to, hey, let me pop up on TV and show everybody that I'm not scared. Like, he looks dumb, bro. And and you want to know what? I think that John Laurinaitis is probably going to end up taking a fall for all this. Like, he already got placed on administrative leave. So when they say administrative leave, like, that means what it means. But I don't think he's coming back. I think he about to take the brunt of all this. I think Vince will probably get a little slap on the hand, and then he'll keep going as he is. And like even now, he's still running the creative for Raw and SmackDown, and they got Stephanie in the role of interim CEO. So I think it's one of those things we're gonna see how it play out. But as far as your question about him doing that, like that's that shit is stupid. Like you shouldn't be any. Well, I mean honestly, his ass needed to be. He should have been away from creative for years now. but yeah, to your point about the misconduct allegations and him appearing on TV, like that is stupid, bro. Very stupid.
I
not
thought
surprising. Not surprising though.
And like Stephanie McMahon had stepped away and now she's back. And when I first read it, when I saw the headline, I was like, oh wow, we're gonna finally like get some changes and there'll be changes in creative. But ultimately, she's just in charge of the business side for the time being. She's not going to make any changes or do anything without her dad's say so. So it's it's pointless in that term, and then no change to creative or anything. What it did do is give a bit of a bump to the ratings because people were interested in what he was going to say. But yeah, it was stupid. It was just an ego thing. Not the only thing which has been going on though, my friend. The Forbidden Door pay-per-view is coming up this weekend, and when it was first announced, there was so much excitement about who could be doing what and who could be facing who. I think people got a bit carried away with it in terms of there was always going to be a bit of political juggling around for this first show together because there's certain guys they don't want to lose and they want to look strong and this, that, and the other. So we were always probably going to only get a couple of real dream matches and then a lot of multi-man and tag matches and stuff like this. And I think people forget.
What do you think about the
card? I think they've done a good job considering when you look at the guys they've lost. Like, could it be better? Yeah, absolutely. I could make a better card with the guys that they've got available, but I understand that one, they don't want to burn through every dream match straight away. Also, maybe, you know, New Japan will want some of these guys for G1 and some tournaments where they may want to use them in certain storylines and matches, and they might not want to burn through them now. And also, the other thing I think people haven't considered, I saw someone moaning about, the Young Bucks are in with the Bullet Club in a 4-man tag. Why didn't they put the titles up against Hiromo and Shingo? But I think the reason that they're probably in that match, the 4-man tag match, is because they're a bit banged up from the ladder match they had last week. So, you got to consider other things. But they've got so many injuries at the moment. It's mad. It's real crazy. Like, who do you think is the mystery opponent for Zack Sabre Jr.?
Well, see, that's a hard one because at first I thought it was just gonna be like Gresham, and that would have been fucking great too. Like I seen Zack Sabre Jr. and Gresham a bunch of times. Like they work really well together. But the reason I can't say it's Gresham is because they said the person who's going to be filling in for that role is going to be the new member of the Blackpool Combat Club, and I don't think Gresham is going to be in that. So I would have to say my only guess, and I'm trying not to think because I don't want to get my hopes up, and I just don't be disappointed if it's not this person, but I think it's going to be Cesaro.
Yeah, I think that Cesaro makes the most sense when you consider as well how Bryan Danielson sort of talked about him. Like he said, I can't remember the exact wording, but like,
but he said technical wrestler though.
But Cesaro, can do that type of wrestling, can he? He is an exceptional.
But he's not known for that though. He's a great wrestler, but like technical wrestler, that's like that's why it's hard for me to think it's him too, because it's like who. But I kind of like it though that it's not so clear cut and dry about like who it could be.
Yeah,
like it's like a variety of people, but that also could be a backfire as well. In the same way, to some people it could be.
Yeah, because people get their hopes up, don't they? And then it just doesn't. It doesn't go the way that they want it to, basically. And unfortunately, I'm not. I think it's going to be a great show. I think it's going to be really enjoyable. Do I think they could have put on some better matches? Yes. I would have rather see Will Ospreay, for instance, against numerous other people rather than Orange Cassidy. But that's just for my take. Orange Cassidy is very popular with people, so I can see why they would do it. He's back from injury and stuff like that.
Ospreay was supposed to face Andrade.
Was he? So
yeah,
why
didn't he?
Face
I think it was something like AAA and not AAA, but like it had something to do with cause I got to pull it up, but I know it has something to do with like multiple companies being involved or something along those lines.
Yeah, and that's the complication.
I'm about to go ahead. I'm about to pull it up.
Yeah, that's the complication when you've got multiple companies involved, and I think those kind of South American companies, there's a bit of hostility between some of them as well. So I think there's a bit of that. Naito not being on the show is kind of weird and disappointing to me. I was really hoping when we saw Rush on the screen a couple of weeks back, I was really excited that we might get kind of like a Ingobernables thing going on. But they'll set something up on Rampage on Friday. I don't know. I haven't seen any spoilers for it, so I'll surprise myself. But I know that. Go on.
So with Andrade, he was supposed to face Ospreay at the Forbidden Door show, but he had told Hugo Savinovich during the interview, so initially was supposed to happen. Andrade was supposed to go to New Japan, like he was supposed to go like actually to Japan and set up the angle with Ospreay, and then they was gonna do the match there. But because New Japan has a working relationship with CMLL, and AEW has a relationship with AAA, and those two companies don't necessarily connect. So it was like a conflict of interest, I guess, within all that, and it was like it was just basically all of that mixed into one, and they just ultimately decided that it was just best to just go Ospreay and Orange Cassidy and, save the trouble of, having to navigate those waters.
Yeah, but I still think that there was better opponents for Will Ospreay. I just think there's multiple guys there who could have put on more compelling, interesting stories. I think the story generally, in terms of how they've done it, has been a little bit lackluster, but it's also a very difficult situation to manage. I get that. I just feel like it could have been done in a more exciting way. Like, I gotta say, I think in some ways they may have even been better having like just New Japan guys like do almost like an invasion angle, because I feel like a bit of excitement has been lost with CM Punk not being available, Danielson not being available. Imagine how Danielson feels, man. Like, he's come out with WWE specifically, really. He wanted to fight these New Japan guys and go to New Japan, and the first time he gets the opportunity to do so, and he's out, from a match 2 weeks before the show. That's got to be frustrating as hell for him,
Yeah, for sure, 100%. I'd be pissed too if I was him.
Do you know has anyone, like, has he confirmed what his injury is?
I don't think anybody knows.
Yeah, obviously, there's clear worries there, isn't there? When you hear that he's not going to fight, that you jump to conclusions and worry. How do you feel about the card as it is now? Are you looking forward to it? Are you kind of a bit underwhelmed? Where you standing?
I think the match card. I think the match is gonna be good. Like, I think all the match. I think it's like just a preference of what you prefer. Like, some people like the build to stuff. Some people just want to see the matches, and I think it's all about what you prefer specifically. Like, for me, I like sort of a combination of both. Like, I'm okay with just randomly announcing shit. Like, I mean, but at the same time, I do like seeing certain build and stuff like that. I mean, the only thing that's like really been the focus in terms of like build wise. They kind of been telling the story of like the Jay White, Hangman Cole. Like, they've been telling that Okada was just like Okada was a nice surprise, but they've been telling the J Cole. I mean, I said J Cole, Jesus Christ, the Jay White Adam Cole thing since they announced the Forbidden Door pay-per-view. Like, that been like the thing. We just ain't know where it was going. And damn sure ain't think Okada was gonna lose the title to Jay Dominion already. But yeah, Moxley and Tanahashi been built up. I mean, I guess you could say Pac, Miro, Malachi, and Ishii has been built up because, I mean, I guess this All Atlantic Championship thing, tournaments. Yeah, I mean, I guess that don't really count like that. Will Ospreay on Orange? I mean, that's fine. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be good. You want to know what? I don't really know about the winner take all three-way match. Like, not that I don't think it's gonna be good. I'm just saying, like, I don't know. Like, I think it'd have been. I mean, it definitely adds more stakes to it. The fact that all the championships on the line. But like, now I'm trying to figure out. I mean, when I'm looking at it, I can probably guess that Rocky Romero or Trent Beretta is going to take the pin in this, and probably either FTR or Jeff Cobb and Great O'Khan are going to end up taking the both titles. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I can't exactly explain why I feel like it should have just been for one of the titles, but I mean, I definitely get why you have both titles in the line, more stakes. But I can definitely see FTR winning the tag titles as a way to get them over to Japan and give them a reason to a storyline reason to go over to Japan and defend the tag titles. So, I mean, that makes sense. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think the match. I think the match will be great, though. I think it's gonna be real good.
Yeah, definitely, and I think FTR winning makes sense to further that. Like, they're on a bit of a roll at the moment, aren't they? And yeah, when you look at it, there has been a build, and I think people are almost sulking because they aren't getting the CM Punk versus Tanahashi or Danielson versus Zack Sabre Jr. These big kind of dream matches that we're hoping for. But I don't think this will be the last Forbidden Door show either. So maybe it'll be a yearly thing or similar. So this time, in terms of kind of like the predictions, I guess. We'll do them kind of as we talk then, I suppose. Who do you see becoming the interim AEW World Champion? Do you think there's any chance Tanahashi wins that and has a little bit of a run in AEW, or just wins it and takes it to New Japan? Or do you think Moxley's going to win?
Tanahashi ain't winning that damn title. He in the G1. Ain't no way he winning that title. G1 starting in like 3 weeks, 2 weeks. Tanahashi ain't winning that title because if he in the G1, he going to doing the G1 matches and then flying over to the US every week, and then it's like that. It's not gonna work, bro. Mox taking the title. Like if they wouldn't have announced Tanahashi with a G1, I think people would have been like, oh, maybe it's a chance. But Tanahashi in the G. I mean, you never know. I mean, I don't know how Tanahashi feel about it. Like, I mean, I haven't looked at the NJPW schedule and see if any dates conflict in terms of Wednesdays NJPW shows, but I'm pretty sure that shit is a hassle. Like Tanahashi, he already kind of beat up, bro. Like he got a lot of miles on his body, so like I can't see him like flying out to America probably every Monday and having to stay till like Thursday and then fly out to Japan and you want to be wrestling the fucking G1 and then I mean for I don't even think that makes sense because I think I definitely think that some of the G1 days going to end up conflicting with AEW in terms of like days and shit like that. So I don't think that's gonna happen. But yeah, but I mean, Mox's the perfect guy to hold the title. For real, I ain't even gonna lie to you. I already thought Mox should have already. I mean, not already, but I already thought Mox should get a second AEW World Title run because he didn't really get the. I mean, he got one, but it was right at the start of the pandemic.
Do you know what? I'm actually quite pumped to see John Moxley versus CM Punk, as opposed to we've obviously seen them work together previously as CM Punk and Dean Ambrose. I'm really interested to see what it looks like as John Moxley versus CM Punk. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. Any chance
Jay White return pop gonna be like?
Oh my days! Do you think it's bigger or on a par with when he came back at the last dance?
No way. There's no way it's bigger than.
That was the biggest pop ever. I don't care what anyone says.
But the last dance, but that was what was that? 7 years? What was it? 7 years? 8 years?
7 years, yeah, 8 years.
7 years. But 7 years worth of build don't compare to what he probably gonna be gone to like what November, September, October probably like that. I mean, people gonna miss CM Punk, but like 7 years compared to like what 5 months, it'd be all right.
Yeah,
he gonna get a pop though. He gonna get a nice pop.
I just hope that he like stays quite quiet on social media and stuff in terms of his recovery, so nobody, because he's one of the guys who stuff doesn't really leak about because I think his circle's quite tight and whatever. So like he's one of the few guys in wrestling I think you can kind of keep when he returns a surprise. So like have him return as a surprise when he's fit will be a big pop. What do you think about do you think there's any chance that Jay White drops the IWGP World Title maybe to Okada again, or do you think Adam Cole just takes the pin and Jay White retains?
I definitely think unfortunately I think Adam Cole might take the pin. I really do.
I do too. Have they announced who's in the G1?
Yeah, they've been out.
Is there any AEW guys in there?
Lance Archer.
No, none of the others, like none of the Elite or like anyone like that. No, that's a shame. Like we'd like to have seen like an Adam Cole or a Daniel Bryan Danielson before he was injured, and any of these guys really. Mox, someone like that. That would have been cool. But I get it. I think it's a lot of traveling.
I think it's just because they're so keyed into AEW storylines. Like, I mean, not to say AEW don't need Lance Archer, but he's not like a fixture on AEW television right now. So like, you don't really like need him necessarily. Like, you can send him over there to do
that. Who's winning the AEW All Atlantic Championship? Basically, like an Intercontinental Championship, I guess. Pac, Miro, Hiro Ishii, or Malachi Black. To me, I will be disappointed if they don't put it on Malachi Black or Miro. And I'd be a bit disappointed if they put it on the other two. And I
They should
like
give it to
Pac.
Pac.
I
I
like
think they should
Pac.
give it to Pac. I think they should
I
give it to him because he been in AEW for a while. I think this would be the thing to sort of give him a little bit of steam. Like Pac always like since the pandemic, he always just felt like a guy that was just there. Like everybody knows he's a great wrestler,
yeah.
but he's just kind of there. So yeah, I think it'd be cool to see Pac get his first AEW title win. But I would like to see Malachi win it too. Honestly, I want to see Miro back with the TNT title one of these days once Scorpio Sky has a sort of a lengthy run. I know he hurt right now, but I kind of want to see Scorpio get a more defined run as TNT champion, and then whoever he drops it to after that. But yeah, I'd like to see Miro back with the TNT belt. Malachi Black, I wouldn't be mad if he won the AEW All Atlantic title, but I just kind of want to see Pat get the belt because like I feel like he just kind of been just like a guy, and like he's been he's been with Death Triangle and stuff, but like I don't know, I just think I feel like his run hasn't been his run since the pandemic started hasn't been like anything of like importance,
No.
for lack of
Yeah.
better terms. It did become like of note. There you go. It's a better way to
But
say
I
it.
also think part of that is because they've been very understanding to him in terms of going home and back to the UK and stuff like this.
He's still living in the UK, right?
Yeah, I think he spends a lot of time back in the UK, so he flies back and forth a lot. So
Jeez.
it's difficult to then like really, really push someone if they're not there every week, if that makes sense. But I think he seems to have been a bit more like on TV in the last month or so. So maybe he's kind of back in now. Everything's opened up. Look, I say I would like Malachi Black or Miro to win it. I wouldn't be disappointed, really. I guess if any of them won, I would like to see Miro back with his wife. I got to be honest. That's what I want to see on TV. But I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. I think Malachi Black is probably the best choice, though, to really push on with them, and because I guess because of the Forbidden Door story or show, we haven't really got that much of a follow up to what's the name joining them.
Julia Hart.
What's her name? Julia Hart. We haven't got like a full on like follow up to that and direction of where that group's going to go next. So I'm kind of interested in that, and I think if you put a title in there, that could be interesting as well. But then maybe they're an act which doesn't need a title, or maybe you save it for you put it on Pac, and then you could put the Kings of the Black Throne as the trios champions, maybe when their trios belt comes. They got some amazing trios for that tournament whenever it happens. Toni Storm, will she beat Thunder Rosa?
No way.
No way. Jose.
No way.
Orange Cassidy with Ospreay. I think there's a slim chance that Toni Storm wins because I think that AEW needs to build other women as like being up there, which aren't the sort of small selection of people that they've got. So I just think there's a slim chance. I think probably Thunder Rosa wins, but I think there's a slim chance that they put Toni Storm and give her a bit of a rocket straight in. Only a slim chance, though. I think it's more likely that Thunder Rosa wins. I think it'll be a good match, though. I think
it's definitely gonna be good. 100 is gonna be good.
Yeah, it's gonna be a banger. 100.
100.
It's gonna stay. It's gonna stay forever. Orange Cassidy, Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay's winning that, isn't he? 100.
Yeah. Man, y'all gotta leave Athena alone, man. Leave her alone, bro.
No, I think Will. I cannot see Will Ospreay losing, bro.
Real quick.
Way.
Did you see Jay say it again last night on TV?
I did, yeah. Never gonna let it go,
bro. I can only imagine what it's like backstage. I can only imagine. I just know them jokes got to be hilarious.
Yeah. All the time, just be everything on like every time she speaks. Yeah, man, 100. Let's go.
but I think Will Ospreay gonna retain.
Indeed. What do you make of the Young Bucks being back in with Bullet Club for one night only? And were you a little bit disappointed that the Gorillas of Destiny are not featured on this show? I really thought we might get a God versus Young Bucks match when this show was first announced. But
yeah, you might know what I am kind of surprised too, but at the same time not, because like Tama Tonga, he be talking a little shit about AEW from time to time. I mean, he like it's like in character, but it's like you really can't tell type stuff, like what he's saying. But
yeah,
I mean,
he's one of the best at that.
yeah, that's what I think it's all a good fun, to be honest with you. But yeah, I mean, but the Young Bucks God thing, it's kind of like it's not as hot as it was like years ago type thing. Like it's kind of run its course. Like it's like I mean, it'd be cool to do, but like at this point, like what's the point? Like what was
Yeah,
legitimately the point? It's
they
like
could
so
have.
it's like so like old news, bro. It's old news.
They could have done a great Bullet Club versus Elite storyline. I think if like God hadn't been kicked out of Bullet Club and then Kenny Omega wasn't injured, I feel like you could have main evented the show with like a really like blood feud between the Bullet Club and the Elite. But things just didn't work out that way. Who do you think wins that match? Sting and Darby, and so Shingo and Hiromu were on the show. And Naito is really peeving me off. I just think there was such a great opportunity.
Naito said y'all ain't paying me enough. I ain't going to USA. Fuck it, staying home.
Yeah,
I respect.
bro.
I respect it. No. I mean, I don't know why Naito. Like for real, honestly, and I
It's a
like
weird
before,
one,
but before I found out that Penta, Phoenix, and Andrade couldn't work. That they couldn't work the show. I thought that we was gonna get Penta, Phoenix, and Pac versus Andrade, Roosh, and Tetsuya Naito.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And
I thought it was gonna be Los
unfortunately,
Ingobernables versus Death Triangle.
yeah, it's sad, isn't
Triple
it,
A
that
and
we can't.
CMLL in the way. They in the way. Move out the way.
Yeah, they ruined it. Yeah, so it's just what happened. It's unfortunate, isn't it? Very quickly then, just to kind of finish off a little preview, you got the trios match between. Well, who do you think's going to win? Sting's team, is it?
No, I think see, I don't know. See, it's hard because Young Bucks just won the titles, but you would bring Shingo and Hiromu over to lose. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's the problem.
Matter of fact, you know what? I think Shingo is going to pin El Phantasmo. I think that's what's going to happen. Or Hiromu is going to pin El Phantasmo.
Go with that. Trios match, you got Jericho. This is a weird one for me. Jericho, Sammy Guevara, who are not obviously part of the JSA now, and then Suzuki appeared yesterday out of nowhere. What have they explained why Suzuki is fighting alongside them? And also, who do you think is going to win later as they fight Eddie Kingston, Wheeler Yuta, and Shoto Umino?
I think it's been somewhat displayed. Like I think it was just like it's just an alliance that was like further established by Jericho teaming with Lance Archer. I'm assuming that's the explanation. But I think that Jericho's team is going to lose, and I think you know what I think is going to happen. I think Daniel Garcia is going to get into it with Sammy Guevara, and that's going to cost them the match. If that doesn't happen if that doesn't happen at Forbidden Door, I think it'll happen somewhere down the line where they get into it. But like I think it's a story right there between Garcia and Sammy Guevara. Like Jericho has always been tied with Guevara, and Garcia is supposed to be the new young guy in the group, and he already has his history with Sammy, and Garcia is basically like, "What the fuck are you doing? That's supposed to be me." You know what I'm saying? And Guevara is like, "Well, I've been here before you," and like I think it's a story to be told with Garcia and Guevara. They already had like a little interaction already on screen.
Yeah, it's going to be
so
an
I think that'd be cool,
one.
Man.
Winner takes all tag team match. We kind of discussed FTR, I think, and then Zack Saber's opponent. Are we kind of leaning towards Cesaro, or
I don't want to get my hopes up.
Yeah.
I don't want to get my
It would
hopes.
be cool. It would be cool to see Cesaro in AEW, I got to say.
Who else is a free agent right now? That's a great technical wrestler. You can name like a bunch of people.
Johnny
Be honest with you.
Gargano is an option.
But they said, but
But
bro, the person joining the Blackpool Combat Club, though,
yeah,
bro,
he
like
doesn't suit that, does he? Like if it was just a
that,
one-off, a technical wrestler, then I could see Gargano. I can't say his bloody name. Johnny Gargano.
Gargano.
Yeah, I could imagine. I could see him coming in as a one-off to for the match and then joining AEW, but not as a member of Blackpool Combat Club. So yeah, that's a strange one. Cesaro to me is the only one. I think he fits real well with that group as well. So I think that's probably the most likely. I can't think of anyone else.
Yeah, I agree.
Any surprises you think will happen to finish us off? Any surprises or anyone who you think will turn up on that show who isn't previously announced?
I'm gonna go a boat. No, I don't think it's gonna happen. But just for conversation's sake, like just to spitball, let me just repeat. I genuinely do not think this is gonna happen. But just for conversation's sake, what if Okada retains and Kenny Omega shows up at the end?
Yeah, that'd be quite intense. Or even if Jay, you could have Omega do a little face off with either Okada or
Jay either one. Yeah, so, preferably Jay White. Please don't switch the title again.
Yeah, indeed, I agree. I think trying to look, maybe we see some other members of the Bullet Club turn up, just because it's possible. And I think there's a slim chance that the Guerrillas of Destiny cost the Bullet Club their victory. Slim, and like you say, more for conversation's sake than actually think it'll happen. But
you were talking about the you were talking about the trios thing. You want to know what would have been a nice trio in the AEW? Leo and Top Flight.
Yeah. I saw someone said Dante should join Christian. Oh, just remembered I wanted to ask you. Nearly forgot that. We saw Christian's promo last night. It was so good. As his first promo as a heel, man. Do you think we see Luchasaurus turning? I do, and I would
love that.
For it.
I would love that. Dish the dinosaur.
My question.
Stuff.
So that's my question. Do you keep him in a mask but just make it a really dark kind of dinosaur or masked character, or does he go back to his dark dinosaur? What was his name in he was Judas something or other one?
Judas Devlin, I think.
You could call him just Judas, and I think that fits perfectly. And yeah, I just think I think he's got potential as a heel, because people will hate him just because he's turned on Jungle Boy, and I think it fits Christian's character to turn him against him, and straight away Christian showed he was manipulating him and stuff. So it's going to be interesting. Or do you think they swerve and everyone thinks he's going to turn heel, and then at the last minute he saves Jungle Boy or helps him?
You want to know what's crazy? Either one of those will work. Legit. Yeah. Either one of those would be perfectly fine. But I ain't gonna lie, I want to see him turn, dish the dinosaur stuff, and just go like full on. But like if they gonna do that, then he gonna need like a push. Like you can't just like have him be like Christian, like fucking lackey and shit. Like he need to like be like a big piece of that puzzle. But I mean, I wouldn't be mad if him and Jungle Boy stayed together. Like that'd be cool. I ain't got no issue with Jurassic Express.
Yeah, no, and I think they're a big part of the tag division, but I do think that they want to push Jungle Boy as a singles star.
Yeah.
So this is your opportunity to do it, isn't it? It's like, and like I just looking at the guy behind the mask. He's a big guy who's built and you know, he's not like someone who people haven't seen his face before. Like he is, you know, he was on Big Brother and stuff. So, you know, he's 37. I don't know. You could. It doesn't have to be like a world title push, though, does it? You know, just give him a push as a monster, who's not just Tyson Tomko take 2. You know,
Tyson.
just make him a threat, like, you know, just and turn him dark dinosaur. Here we go. Let's go. Yeah, that's gonna be good. I do like that. Christian as a heel is I'm all about that. All about that.
You think Sasha Banks will get a release?
I think she's already got it, my friend.
Ooh.
If I was predicting it, I think her lawyers earned their paycheck. I think that WWE is insane if they let her just walk away without any attempt to keep her happy or repair the relationship. And I see a lot of people who criticize AEW saying, "Oh yeah, you know, Adam Cole and all these people came in and they made CM Punk. It made no difference to the, you know, to the ratings and stuff like that. But their ratings have slowly been building and they've been solid and all this. But their product has generally been very, very good week in, week out. Generally, there's been a few missteps, you know, in individual storylines and things like this. And I think Sasha going there could be special. Mercedes going there can be special for the fans, special for the company. It can give their women's division a huge boost. But most of all, I think people underestimate how many fans she's got that will follow her over. So some of the guys who've gone over to WWE, like Bryan Danielson, maybe you'd say technically probably a bigger name because he's been around longer and whatnot.
Bigger name in wrestling.
Yeah. Whereas Sasha Banks or Mercedes is more of a mainstream thing, a name. You know, she got the Snoop Dogg link. She's been on Star Wars and all this shit. Like, and her fans are hardcore. They will follow her wherever she goes. Whereas Daniel Bryan, fuck's sake, he had hardcore fans, but they were all wrestling fans. So kind of they weren't necessarily going to make like this big indentation to the ratings because they were probably already watching anyway. Whereas the Sasha fans, I think there's more of an outside interest potentially, but people seem to underestimate that. I think WWE has underestimated her popularity as well.
Yeah, man, Sasha's wherever she goes, she'll be a game changer. Like I would love to see her in AEW. Honestly, I'd love to see her if she just wanted to be like a freelancer from time to time on the indies or something like that. And, you know, she just work around and do other stuff like while she wrestling and, you know, just try to build some people up. But I mean, shit, if she could go to AEW, you better fucking do that. Like if she go there, then that immediately changes the pecking order in the company in the women's division. Like Sasha's number 1 off the rip.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it'd be
cool. Whatever she chooses.
They'd have to make room for her though, with them like financially, because she'd be on big money, and they've got a big roster. So someone, you know, they may have to do a bit of rejigging, maybe not renew some people, and I don't know. It's this weird thing. Like I'm assuming they're keeping such a big roster because they have, you know, got Ring of Honor TV coming soon, and it's going to kind of split off, and a lot of these people will be able to get on TV and stuff like that. But at the moment, it does feel like they've got too many people. But I think people forget that the Ring of Honor is going to come back very soon. You know, and that turns it into 2 companies and 2 brands, doesn't it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It definitely does.
Do you think she's going to go first and foremost? Do you think Sasha Banks will be in AEW, or do you think she's been released or will be released?
I have no clue. She has been released. I legitimately cannot tell. I can't call it. I don't even have a gut feeling about it. I really don't know. But I mean, if she does, I mean, why wouldn't she go to AEW? Why wouldn't she?
Yeah.
Like
She might want to prove a point.
Exactly. That's what it's all about. And people who like, oh man, why she wouldn't even want to go back to bro. People would be like, I've been seeing this from some people who like they clearly, if it's not like WWE, they dislike it. So they're like, oh man, Sasha, why would she go to AEW when she can go to Hollywood and all this? I'm like, bro, this woman legit flew to Japan on her own dime to go train with Meiko Satomura in the Sendai Girls dojo for no reason at all. Just went
Wow.
for the fuck of it while she was under contract at WWE. Sasha Banks lives for professional wrestling. If she wants to, if she is truly free from her contract, she'll more than likely probably end up in AEW, and I promise you, they're gonna treat her like a fucking big deal. Like, so I mean, and even if she chooses to go elsewhere and just fucking like do a tour of the Indies or whatever like that, that's fine too. You know what I'm saying? Like Sasha Banks a big name, bro. She's a big fucking name, like a big fucking name. So it's gonna be cool to see what she do. But like just like you said earlier, I can't fathom WWE not trying to like keep her, bro. Like I legitimately cannot see them just being like, oh well, you can go. Because I mean, if that was the case, they'd have let her go back in 2019, when she was less popular than she is right now, and she's still popular as hell back then. But if it would have made any more sense, you would have did that back then, back in 2019, when she wanted to go. But Vince McMahon was like, "Nah, I'm not letting you go." So why would you let her go now when she's even more popular? So I don't know.
Maybe they haven't got a choice now because their contract's up.
Probably don't. Yeah, probably don't. Probably don't got a fucking choice. So I mean, it's gonna be interesting either way. But if she is free, AEW running that Arthur Ashe show, perfect time. The Boss in New York. There you go.
When's that?
September, I think. I think it's an annual. I don't think it's like formally announced, but that's when the last one took place. So I mean, hey man, if you're gonna do that, Sasha Banks in NY, or Mercedes Banks in NY, or Sasha with all caps in NY. I don't know what you gonna call her. You could just call her Sasha. You can't use Sasha. You can't use Sasha Banks' name. Sasha all
just
caps.
Call her Mercedes.
Mercedes is actually a cool name. Mercedes. Is Mercedes Banks good? Or do you think that's corny? Not corny, but like,
I don't think it's got the same ring
don't roll
to
off
it.
the tongue like Sasha
Yeah,
Banks.
I think Sasha on her own, it could be quite cool. Or Miss.
I'd be sick as shit if I was WWE and she left and just called herself Sasha. Because like that's the same thing. She just took the last name, so she ain't got to change nothing.
I'd be sick. Out as exactly the same. More fool them, my bro. More fool them. They just ludicrous situation really, and like even just the fact they've let her contract run down. It's like, what are they doing? Like they should have renewed that shit 6 months, year out. But there we go. More fool them. And if her contract runs out, she doesn't have a 90-day thing either. So she could literally turn up the next day after her contract's out. So it's going to be real interesting, sort of where she goes, what she does. Andrew, as always, mate, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you join me. We've shot around a bit from subject to subject, but as time constraints and stuff, I think we need to go back into that Monday slot, bro.
The Monday slot?
Yeah, getting that Monday slot regular.
Maybe.
Right. It's been an absolute pleasure, my friend. Indeed. You take it easy, my friend. You have a good night, a good weekend, and I'll speak to you very, very soon.
I see you in Cardiff.
Invasion. Bring it, brother. You could sleep at my house on my sofa. My teenagers beat you up. Elbow drop on the sofa. Poof. That's what you get. Peace out.
Yeah.